Hello. It smells like industry out here. I like doing these early streams when I wake up early and I don't go until 11. I don't gotta go anywhere till really like 10:30 or so. Oh, I like doing these when I've got some time in the mornings. Although, the one bad side is that means you guys get to see me at my station. Oh, that said, it is a really quite nice day in terms of temperature. Although it's a really shitty day if you're just looking at the rain and the clouds. It's Hurricane Francine, I think it is. Is that the hurricane we're on, or is it Helene? It's Helene, isn't it? Her. Oh man, I hate that name. Can I just say that? I hate the name Helene. I'm pretty sure it's the adjective form of um like um Hellenic. I'm pretty sure it's like a certain form of the word Hellenic, which just means Greek, but Helene, just I don't know. It always struck me as a strange name. I hate that hurricanes are always named after old ladies. Why is that? Why are hurricanes always named after old ladies and old men? Is there a reason for that? Legitimately, I feel like I heard why they did that when I was a little ass kid, and then they never brought it up again. Uh, Maybe that's just because I didn't complete high school down here in Mississippi. Maybe if I'd been down here in deep, dirty Mississippi, maybe they would have. I get the feeling we probably won't get the cavalcade of morons that have been so common to the live streaming kind of thing on here for the last few days. Because, well, for one, it's Wednesday, so it's a weekday, right? It's a weekday, hardly. But I think I'm going to do a wake up dab because that's going to make me feel better. I feel like the butane I got recently is not very good because it had a much longer flame. This lighter had a much longer flame after I just had let it sit around for a long time. Not that much longer, but it was a meatier flame for sure than what I'm getting now. This is the weirdest thing I've ever used for doing dabs, but ever since I figured out that these work, I just can't justify buying an actual piece. That wasn't much. That wasn't much of a hit, I grant you guys. But what can I say? I don't want to take all of it. I don't want to use all of it. Dude, there's a fly straight up climbing up the. Oh man, it almost climbed over you guys. You guys almost were all drowned by a fly. All of you. Go away, fly. Shoot, fly. Go somewhere else. Bother somebody else. They bother and confusticate these flies. I always loved how Bilbo talked in The Hobbit and even in Lord of the Rings. I really like how elder hobbits talk. There's just something very old and British about it, which I guess is what they're supposed to be. Um, if you think about it. have to get away from these confounded relatives and ringing on the bell all day and never giving me a moment's peace. I want to see mountains again, Gandalf. Mountains. And then find somewhere quiet where I can finish my book. I love that movie, dude. I love that movie. Sub for sub. I can't sub to anybody while I'm on stream, but if you hit the sub button and I get the notification, I'll definitely sub back. I try to do that sort of thing when I can. God bless us, everyone. Yeah. I think it's time to move on to Flower. I think that is what that is telling me more than anything, is that Phoebe has to move to Flower. Because I'm a good but small content creator. That's the way I like to see myself too, man. Damn it. I really didn't make much of a YouTube creator until this year, and this is when I finally started live streaming this way, because it was apparently this is just a hack. I don't know why, but this live stream thing where you're in the vertical mode and you're on a mobile phone, it gets placed into the shorts algorithm, and then people are just scrolling shorts will occasionally see lives. And then I think if they interact with that live, they get placed into the live algorithm. And then if they keep scrolling, they end up in other lives. I think that's how it works. Okay, maybe not. Well, why not? Is it because I blew my nose on stream? Well, I'm sitting out here waking up. Not every stream has me blowing my nose and being like, this unprofessional. Although, like I told Omar, who I was arguing with the other day, I try to keep a little bit of unprofessionalism on this stream, because as you can see, I got to go do some professionalism in a couple hours. So I already have a place where I have to do the yes ma'am, no ma'am, thank you sir, no sir. I already have a place where I have to do that all the time. So I like YouTube because I can be whoever the fuck I want to be at whatever time I want to be. So if that's why, then I'm sorry, but maybe it's not a good idea. That sort of thing bothers you just on principle, but it's not a major factor in the content. Damn bangs. Or no, dem bangs. Thank you for at least recognizing that they're bangs and not just like a mullet. People think this is a mullet for some reason. Mullets never had bangs. The key to a mullet was always having your hair look totally normal, like not bangs, having it look totally like a business casual haircut, like a business casual men's haircut in the front, right? And then long hair in the back. That is a mullet. And right, people call this a mullet. And I'm like, this is not a mullet. There's not enough business in the front. The business that is in the front is only business to certain classes of people from certain times in history. Bangs are really kind of more looked at now as like a fashion for like alternative girls. So I don't know, but it's nice that people recognize these are bangs occasionally. It's like people in real life never seem to get them confused. Well, maybe that's a lie. Well, once a year somebody will be like, nice mullet, and I'm like, it's bangs, but thank you anyway. Man, the way this sits is it makes it impossible for me to like monitor the view numbers, which is, I don't like to watch it all the time, but I like to kind of keep an idea of how many people are in here, because if there's a bunch of people in here, sometimes I'll pimp the channel, but as long as it's just like under 10, I usually don't say anything about it. But yeah, how's everybody's morning doing? Everybody shout out your time zone. Everybody shout out your fucking time zone. Where are you bastards from? Where are you fucking people from? Where are you guys at? There were 8 people on stream, but now it's 2. Yeah, that happens a lot. The last couple of streams I did stayed pretty much at 10 people or more, but most of my streams end up being like 4 or 5 people hanging out. Although, like I said, that does seem to be changing now because I'm gaining subscribers fairly quickly for how small my channel is, and I usually get about 10 to 15 per live. And so my concurrence probably won't be very high on this stream, but that's okay. Really, the main reason I like streaming like this so much is because it helps keep me comfortable in front of the camera, and I have this genuine plan to start making content as at least like more of a hobby. Because right now I pretty much only make content when I feel like I really have something I want to say and I think I can add an opinion to, which is good, but that's not what anybody else does. Everybody else just comments it on every goddamn thing that's happening, right? So I'm gonna start doing that, and we can do that on live streams and do the lives to help keep my mind in my head as to how I should be, how I want to be perceived and stuff, and um, how I want to be in front of the camera. It's like it's good practice. But these are also just a really fun way to wake up in the morning, honestly, or to relax at night before I go to bed. So I've been doing them a lot for that too. This bowl's gonna need cleaned out. I can already tell. This bowl needs cleaned out desperately. Oh well. I ain't gonna do it right now, that's for fucking goddamn sure. Dude, I spilled my tray the other day, and the bowl droppings and shit that I had in here got all covered in fucking cat hair, and there's still a little bit in it. I think I picked most of it out, but there's still a little bit off in there, dude. Stoner problems, man. Awful stuff. Like some dirt in there too. God damn it. I hate it when that happens, but at least I was able to recover most of it, because there have been plenty of times when my tray has dropped like into a trash can or something, which is really just the universe telling you that you suck and you don't deserve any fucking weed. If your shit just ends up in the fucking trash can, then just I would not even smoke that day. I'd be like, all right, God, I get the idea. I get the point. Okay, listen, bro, I get it. I get the idea. I just give up on it for that day. Now the real question is, do we want to top this with some keef? Because I cleaned my keef catcher out the other day, and since then it has actually been working to catch keef quite a bit. Like I cleaned out the little grate and stuff. So should I top this bowl with some keef? Man, there are just leaves in here, bro. Gross. There's 100% going to be some cat hair in the smoke from this bowl. But what can I do? Like, literally, what can I do? It's not like I can clean it up somehow, lickety split. So, oh my god, so many people. Oh, y'all are shouting out your time zone. Poland, dude. I've never had a Polish fan in here. At least nobody that ever told me they were from Poland. So that's really cool. What is Poland actually like? Like, would you say it seems comparable to America? Do you think you guys are like worse off than America? Do you guys think you have it like a little bit better? I'm really interested to hear how a person from Poland feels about their country, because I don't hear from you guys much. And mostly the things we do here in America are bad things. Like we hear about guys getting squished by the Nazis, which is not a particularly nice thing to say about another country. And we really don't learn anything else. So, upstate New York, it's 9:45 a.m. here. Dude, which part of upstate? Because upstate is so beautiful, and I love fucking upstate New York. I've actually never been to New York City at all, but I love upstate. Um, my favorite part of upstate is right around Steamboat Springs. There's a beautiful dispensary there. I don't remember. I think it's called Ace of Spades, maybe. There's a dispensary there. I'm pretty sure it's called Ace of Spades, and it's somewhere in the Steamboat Springs region. And I'll never forget it, dude. The first time I walked into that dispensary, it's a res dispensary, so they you can smoke in there. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. The first time I walk in there, and the very first thing that hits me is like a cloud of weed smoke, like a Cheech and Chong pot movie level cloud of weed smoke. And the next thing that hits me is the smell of the beautiful weed smoke. And then the third thing that hits me is my eyes landing upon these two dudes that are, both of them are smoking. One of them has a blunt, one of them has just a regular like cone or something, and one of them is packing more cones for like pre-rolls, I assume, while smoking the cone and while having a conversation with the other guy. So he's got like he's doing like the corner joint thing, and he's talking to the other dude, and then the person manning the counter is smoking the blunt and greets us real nice and everything, and we were just in awe. Me and my road dog, we were like in fucking awe. We'd never seen a thing like that. But they were so friendly. Everybody in upstate New York was so nice to us. We got one of the biggest donations I ever got in my life. I got right in fucking upstate New York at at a Dandy's in Horseheads. It was in Horseheads, New York, and this really cool Eastern European dude saw me out there busking at the Walmart, and he gave me a full tank of gas and gave me like $200. So that was like probably the best kick down I've ever gotten. Pretty much got me home. Pretty much got me from New York, like literally from upstate New York, and on the eastern half of New York too, like the eastern central kind of quarter. It got me from there all the way to St. Louis, Missouri. It's fucking awesome. Haircut go crazy for real, gang. Yeah, dude, I've got the best fucking haircut in here. Probably. It's 15:45 in mine. 15:45. It's a 12-hour clock. So it's 3:45 there. Wow, that's cool. So it's like afternoon there. Cool. I don't know how it is in USA. It's pretty good in Poland. There's a big flood, but it stopped growing. It flooded a third of the country. What the fuck, bro? A third of your country got... Dude, you guys must have that same thing that like a lot of Jewish people have, where it's just like, there's this thing amongst oppressed and heavily fucked with countries and people where they just get this like stiff upper lip, like they get this really stoic kind of like, yeah, everything. Well, maybe it's not even stoicism really. It's like this resistance to the sort of chaos and oppression of living in society and being in a kind of weird place. It comes from all kinds of people, but the first place I noticed it was in one of my Jewish friends, where when talking about like suffering in general, they kind of related back so many of the stories that had happened to the Jewish people over the many years, and how that kind of leads to this sort of like feeling, this natural feeling of resistance to that sort of thing from a lot of Jewish people. And I'm guessing from your cavalier discussion of the flood that basically destroyed a third of your country, I'm guessing you guys must have that same kind of like thing. Like people in New Orleans have it too, where they're just like, there ain't no storm gonna drive me out of New Orleans. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here for the end of time. To the end of time, till the swamp come over and flood me out for the last time. I drown in these waters. I ain't leaving. Ain't nothing can drive me away. And there's just a lot of people like that, and I get the feeling that Poland might have that same sort of attitude going on. Have y'all like been through a lot? Because that seems like a really uncanny patience that you have with that flood. Good morning. A third? I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah. Good morning. Oh yeah, no, a third of his country. Yeah, dude. Apparently, a third of Poland was flooded out. I don't know. I didn't hear about this. This is like news to me. But that really sucks, though. How like, dude, that really fucking sucks. I grew up in a state that was adjacent to and actually did get hit by Katrina. It's just we didn't get hit nearly as bad, and we actually got way more of the funding for Katrina than the state that did get hit bad. So I never bitch about Katrina. But I do know what it's like to grow up in a storm-laden place and a place that gets hit by crazy fucking flooding and that type of shit. It really sucks. I hope the cleanup efforts going on there are being documented. I hope the cleanup efforts there are being um, internationally covered, although it doesn't seem like they are because this is the first I'm hearing about it, dude. And this is the fucked up thing that sucks so badly. It's like if you get a major flood in a country like Honduras or Poland or Argentina or something like that. Well, maybe if it was Argentina, but like most of these countries, a major flood happens, ain't nobody gonna cover it in America, ain't nobody gonna cover it in Britain probably. Except maybe the local news for that particular diaspora might get it covered in their news, but we ain't gonna cover it as a national fucking topic. And that's so sad because if we had a fucking like Hurricane Katrina, everyone in the world knew about Hurricane Katrina, but we're not gonna know about this flood probably. I'm probably gonna have to legit go look up some Polish news and translate it, and then I'll know about the fucking flood. It's ridiculous. They got the new Nick Hermiel. Oh my god, I can't believe you got me to do that, dude. I'm so sleepy. No, they do not have the new nigger meal. Um, see, that's the thing. Is like I'm from an edgier time, so I'll just kind of say it because I don't believe that there's anything inherently wrong with white people saying the N word in context, or like in a rap song. I I've never subscribed to that notion, even though I'm pretty fucking far left. I just never thought. And honestly, most of the fucking black people, probably like 90% of the black people that I've personally met, um, do not like they're not policing it. Now I have met some that are. I have met some that don't want you saying it unless it's in the specific context of making fun of a racist or something like that. And I am very empathetic to that standpoint, so I probably wouldn't do it in front of them. But yeah, if it's like in context, I'm not gonna shy away from saying it like it's got some magical power that's gonna strike me down. You know what I mean? But no, they don't have the inward meal at Taco Bell. But they do have this. They do have. Actually, I can't talk about that. Never mind. There is some cool stuff on the horizon, though. If you like T-Bell, there is some cool stuff coming through. And we got nacho fries back, at least at Pacific Bell's locations. I don't know if we have. I don't know if I work for a franchisee, so I don't know if that's store wide, but I'm assuming it is because most of Taco Bell's advertising campaigns are like national. Here's what I wonder: are there fucking commercials for businesses in the destination country? So, like, if you're at an airport, right, and you're in, because I've never flown on a plane, I've never really been in an airport. So, if you're in an airport, you that have in chat can tell me if you're in an airport, is there like advertisements that would apply only to the country you're going to? It's like if you're at a like if you're at like at the what's that airport what's that airport in the UK? Hawthorne or whatever. So if you're like at an airport in the UK, are you gonna see like ads for Taco Bell in the terminal that's going to the US? Are you gonna see ads for like McDonald's, or is it like I gotta go on fly on a plane at some point, dude. I just gotta do it because I'm so curious about the experience, and really I've learned a lot about it from the technical aspect from watching like pilots talk about it and that type of shit, but I don't really know anything about the experience of going on a plane, and I'm massively curious about it. And just got me thinking about it. But yeah, so just south of Albany, Bob Klein said, that's cool. Albany is actually really cool. I used to live really not far from you. I spent 6 months living in North Adams, Massachusetts, which is right over the border from Albany and Troy. Um, Beautiful fucking town. Probably, in fact, I ain't gonna qualify. No, it's the most beautiful town I've ever lived in my life, long term. I will never see its like again. There are too many beautiful vistas in that town. There's just a vibe there, dude. That is the thing I noticed about North Adams that made me love it more than every other town I've ever been to in my life. It is the fact that North Adams has an identity. North Adams is North Adams. You would never confuse it for a suburb of Boston. You would never confuse it for another town in the Berkshires. You would never confuse it for its fucking older sister, Adams. It's its own identity. It's its own thing. And it brings its own unique set of issues and its own unique traits. And I'm just in love with it. I really wish I could move back there sometimes because it was beautiful. like beautiful without equal, in my opinion. There's only a few places in this country that even come close that I would live into under those auspices and for those reasons. Like Rio Del New Mexico, also a beautiful town. Trinidad, Colorado tends to be a pretty town, but also has some pretty shitty spots in it that don't feel much like anything. Yeah, the flow was bad. It was hard, but Poland overall is a pretty good architecture, historic country known for the number of wars and battles. Nature here is beautiful. Well, I bet it is because, like, I imagine all of that warlike kind of behavior coming. And my understanding is that it's not the Polish people themselves; it's usually countries adjacent to Poland warring over the land in Poland. Like, you guys have been fought over a bunch in history, from my understanding. And I imagine that has led to a lot of development being abandoned where it was normally going to start. Nature can recover everything and make an area look completely natural in 10 years. Like all it takes is 10 years. But it takes a good 20 years of developing a spot before it really starts to look unnatural all around it. So, but yeah, the flow was bad as fuck. That sucks. That really does suck, dude. I hope you guys have a speedy recovery because that type of shit is lame. What caused it? I'm assuming it was like some sort of storm event, right? Oh god. Does anyone know what you can do for your lower back to make it not fucked up and hurt like shit? I know Paul's ego does stretches. Maybe I can do stretches. You're getting over here. I can't. I gotta stand up at the very least. Oh god. Oh Lord have mercy. Normally I would have muted that for you guys, but today I don't care. Whatever, bro. Heavy rains for a week and then the river's overflowing. Yeah, that's usually what causes it, right? If it's not just a hurricane or something. Yeah, so I mean, like as long as big levees aren't breaking and your system of managing floodwater is still intact, that should honestly, like, you guys should be fine in like 2 or 3 years. But that does really suck, like that, and shit like that is only gonna become more common with the way, like, with how we know climate change functions at this point. We pretty much know that all of the things we fear in humanity, all the things we don't look forward to when it comes to our weather systems, those things they're increasing in quantity. They're increasing in frequency. So what was once uncommon and rare is slowly becoming common and totally predictable. It's like this year, we have been hit just so far with 3 hurricanes, I think. Um, Hurricane Home makes landfall today, I'm pretty sure, or is predicted to. And that'll be the 3rd hurricane of the season, if I'm not mistaken. I know we had another one that came up right through Mississippi, almost hit us, but missed us by 100 miles or so. So yeah, I mean, it's just crazy because we're really not doing anything to combat climate change, and even if we did at this point, I don't know that there's anything we could do to even avert what's happening. It's starting to seem like we kind of have decided to act too late, no matter what we do. So sucks that that's happening. Sucks that we can see more effects of that in a global sense. There were even alerts of possible tornadoes at some cities. Yeah, that's awful, dude. Especially because I don't hear about tornadoes really happening in Europe much. I'm sure they do. I'm sure that there are tornadoes all over Europe, but I just don't hear about them much. I imagine there's probably like a lot in you guys' area, like that Eastern Europe kind of area. Because that's more inland, and my understanding is that the tornadoes don't typically happen on the coast; that they're more of an inland phenomena. At least that's my experience from having grown up in the Midwest and Mississippi. And we really had to deal with less tornadoes down here than we did in the Midwest, where they're pretty much like tornadoes are gonna happen. It's just a matter of whether they're gonna hit something. And that's another crazy thing people don't realize about storms is that something like 90% of the big scary weather events that happen on the earth really don't ever do anything to humans because they happen out on the ocean. You know what I mean? Far away from people. The only people they inconvenience might be the Navy or the Merchant Marine or something. You know, um, a lot of times they don't even make landfall. They just peter out in the fucking Gulf of Mexico or the Great Pacific Ocean, and you never hear about them again. And the same is true of tornadoes, even though they're a land-based thing. Most of the time, a tornado just touches down somewhere in an open field, tears up some farmland, and then nobody ever hears of it. And the rancher doesn't make a big deal about it because they got crop insurance, So like you just never, it's just not a big thing that's covered in a lot of news. So, but I really do owe it to myself to start learning more about Europe because I want to visit Europe at some point soon. I want to like figure out how this shit works. I want to see what it's like to be in another country. I don't know if it's called hurricanes, but it was stronger than tornadoes. Then yeah, if it was stronger than tornadoes, you're probably getting either a tropical storm or a hurricane. Well, I don't know how you could be getting a tropical storm in Poland, but I suppose there are other weather events that could coincide to make that sort of thing happen. But yeah, if you're getting rotating wind stronger than a tornado, it's usually a hurricane. At least from my understanding, anyway. Why do you smell like tomatoes? Why do you smell like tomatoes? So why? Why you smell like tomatoes? Ooh, the pretty kitty. Ooh, the kitty. Uh, he's such a sweet baby. Okay, off you go. Okay. People say you can't put a cat anywhere. I just put that cat right down on that cushion, and he is fucking loving it, dude. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. He loves it. Oh, we're less strong. Sorry, I'm blind. Listen, my glasses are super old, so I just have a real hard time reading these chats sometimes. But yeah, less strong than tornadoes is good because that means less wind damage. The main thing you have to worry about when talking about like tornadoes or hurricanes either way is like it's really not even the rain that comes with them and that kind of shit. It's it's the wind damage. But yeah, I'm sorry about misreading that. It's just my fucking blind ass. I need to get these glasses replaced and I just ain't done it yet. Not stronger. Yeah, no, I know. I missed it. Yeah, I thought I had read it correctly. Turns out I hadn't. When I reread the message after you said that, I was like, oh shit, I'm just blind. So I'll have to scoot closer to read it because, like I said, these glasses are just out of date. I mean, they've lasted me like 6 years though at this point, so it's time. But yeah, the main thing you got to worry about with that sort of storm is just wind damage. Because dude, I don't know what it is. Like I feel like there's a threshold, right? So there's a threshold where wind won't damage things. It's like 15 miles an hour, and then or maybe even 20 miles an hour. I'm really curious what that threshold is. Someone should do an experiment to see. But there is a fucking just a certain wind speed at which you'll start picking up the 10 off of old barns. You'll start picking up old limbs that still have good amounts of leaves on them. You start picking up trash cans that are empty enough, bags of trash that are empty enough, et cetera. The point until you get up to the point where you're just like pushing over old trees, you're pushing cars on their sides, all this crazy shit that a tornado can do under these conditions. And that's really the damage that they end up doing usually is just from the sheer force of wind combined with the flooding because there's a lot of times when you have structures and shit that were fine before before like a tree branch fell on the structure or a really powerful wind shifted the building in the wrong way, and it started allowing the entry of water, and now the building's compromised. So that sort of thing is a really dangerous thing to have happening, especially if your area is not built for it. In the area I live in the American South, it's like we build our houses kind of more or less with the idea that they might have to go through a tornado at some point. Now, not everybody does, and plenty of us still live in trailers, but there's enough people that have that in mind that generally our abodes are meant to be safe, meant to withstand that kind of fierce action from a windstorm. In the translator, it says air horns, but I don't know. But IDK if it's right. Air horns. Yeah, no, that doesn't immediately um, that doesn't immediately bring anything to mind to me. Although maybe if I apply a little bit of linguistics knowledge, if it's something that's called air horns when translated from Polish into English, then I would have to imagine then that probably means that they're called that because air horns are used to signal them or because they're associated with them in some way, which means that they're probably just talking about your normal tropical depression type windstorm, which is less strong. It's less strong than a tornado. It's usually unidirectional wind too, but still, nonetheless, not exactly a fun thing to go through. I feel like we've been sitting here talking about the weather for like 20 minutes. Not that I mind, it's just strange. Yeah, probably shifting cars and trees, not that strong to shift houses. So yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, that's really not the biggest deal in the world then, because um, as long as you're not shifting major structures, I mean, cars can be replaced easier than houses can. Trees can be regrown, um, but houses, I mean, like you don't have to have a permit to plant a tree. Usually, I know you do sometimes. You don't have to have a permit to have your car replaced after after the tornado hits it, but you do have to have a permit to. Yeah, there's from my understanding, there's a whole bunch of red tape that goes into restoring a house that's been fucked with by a tornado or by any kind of high winds. From my understanding, it's like you have to get like approval to work on site, and then you have to get like approval to like rebuild it or to destroy it, whichever one you're doing. And then, from my understanding, there's just a bunch of permitting and shit that goes into that process. So that does suck worse when you're dealing with structures instead of just mutable objects like cars and trees. Gotta go to acro practice. Thanks for making the stream that I can watch. Hey, dude. I'm assuming you're talking about the fact that it's really chill in here. And if that's what you mean, then I'm gonna say I appreciate you for coming in here and having a really cool, fun conversation with me. Even if it was a tiny bit mundane, I like that kind of shit. I like that people come in here wanting to talk and kind of you're using this live stream the same way I use live streams, my friend. I look at live streams as a unique opportunity to talk to somebody who lives a different sort of life and get instantaneous reactions from them. And it's interactive media in my head. And I've always looked at it that way ever since I was like 13 years old and streaming became a thing you could do without, news company equipment. Um, I've always looked at it as interactive media. So thank you for treating this stream like what it is, interactive media. Thank you. Yeah, it is chill. Thank you. I appreciate that. I genuinely try to keep it that way. So if you like that, dude, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I do these at least once a day usually. Sometimes I miss a day or two, especially on my busy work weeks, but if I keep getting up at like 7:30 in the morning like I did today, I'm going to keep doing these in the morning cuz fuck it. I really like doing them and they're really chill. They're really fun. Yeah, probably cuz I'm 13. I already did subscribe. Well, okay, normally I wouldn't let someone. Okay, here's the rule: you can't say you're 13 anymore because that's people are gonna fuck with you. Number one, people are gonna be weird to you, and people are gonna be fucking weird. So don't, because you're fresh to the internet, just don't say your age. Okay, it's just not a good idea, especially because you unlike most 13-year-olds that I've met in America, are capable of holding a semi-competent conversation. You know what I mean? Like, you're at my level, like that's good. You know what I mean? Like, being able to maintain a solid conversation. But there are definitely, I'm a mod for a channel where if we were in like Paul's Ego stream right now, I would have to ban you because we don't. You know what I mean? And I try to keep this an 18 plus place too, but I'm totally fine having some teenagers off in here that are capable of having a good conversation, that are capable of looking around and that have a mind towards learning and that aren't skivvy brained. So if you're like that, you can stick around. I'll bend the rule for you. Just don't be talking about how old you are, because people will be weird to you. But yeah, thank you for subscribing. That's really cool. And come back and see us, because that'll be fun. But yeah, take care of yourself otherwise. Okay, thanks. Yeah, no, for sure. I'm just looking out for you, bud. I was your age too on the internet once. You know what I mean? And I was not. I'm very lucky that I was never groomed or never treated weirdly by anybody or perved on or anything like that. At least not by other people that weren't my age. That was the other thing, is like, as I got to know all my internet friends earlier, it lucked out and I actually befriended all real people. But and it's another thing you got to look out for. But that's something people of all ages on the internet need to look out for, dude. You can't trust a motherfucker on the internet unless you see sort of context. If you see them live streaming and they've got like their fucking uniform on and they're showing you around their house and shit, that's a real person with fucking real thoughts and ideas of some kind. They may not be of much merit, but they're there. But otherwise, you have no idea what a motherfucker on the internet really is. They can be anything, dude. Any motherfucking thing. But yeah, go ahead. You have fun. And it was chill talking to you. It's really cool. And shout out from Mississippi, because you shouted out Poland. So shout out from Mississippi. The Poles are pretty cool. The Poles are all right in my book. Damn, I should have asked that dude more Poland questions, because they probably would have had some legit answers. They seem like the type of person that's actually paying attention in history class. Which, hey, that's one of the only fucking classes I paid attention to in school. My brain has just, from a very young age, always wanted to know the question why. I've always wanted to know that answer. And I've always liked the fact that history encourages you to learn that. History really does tell you why. That's why I kind of believe, that's why I kind of acknowledge determinism as the way the universe works at this point. Because after having a lot of conversations with people about it, I actually had a really interesting conversation about it on stream a while back. After having all those conversations, I genuinely I can't see how it could possibly be any other way. It's just so obvious that we live in a deterministic universe. Because all that really means is that things proceed forth logically from earlier points, which, if you read history, does make sense. Literally, everything leads into the next. And it's kind of a real comfort, because it means everything we're going through has happened before. Everything that we've went through has led to this point, and we're just fine. Well, we're not just fine, but we're not all dying of dysentery or something. Like, we've been through plagues before. We've been through massive flooding events before. The story of humanity is a story of perseverance, and it's also a story of determinism. It's a story of things proceeding forth from a logical point and proceeding in a linear fashion. And while that, I think that's disconcerting to people when they first hear it, because it kind of suggests to you that you don't have so much power as it immediately seems like. It makes it feel, right, like you don't have any power over the things you decide to eat, like you don't have any power over the pets you decide to have, like you don't have any power over anything in your life, and you're just a leaf on the breeze. But you're not really a leaf on the breeze. Um, you're a leaf on the breeze that that can occasionally shift its weight from one side or the other, making itself fall in one fashion or another. You can still make choices. You still have choices. You still have that, but even that is limited by the fact that you only have the choices that were given to you by the upbringing you were brought up into. So if you're born into horrible poverty, and like let's say you're born into horrible poverty in a trailer park of the deep south, you don't have as many options and choices as someone who's born into wealth in Beverly Hills. They've got way more choices, but even they have a limited scope of choice. They can't choose to go live in a trailer park. You know what I mean? If they so wanted, they really couldn't choose that. They would deal with too much fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? Like they would. That's just not a choice that's really open to them. And even if it's technically open to them, it's not something that they would ever take. That they would ever press the button on. So it's just interesting to think about. We really don't have any choice. Really, I think a lot of us rely on the idea that we do. I think a lot of us rely on keeping up this false kind of pretense that we have all this choice and fucking freedom in our lives. And the truth of it is, we've got very little choice and freedom in our lives. You've got exactly as much choice and freedom in America in your life as you do money. And even then, your choices are limited by cultural perceptions and all kinds of other shit that's hard to immediately think of because I've never been in that situation. But it's all limited, and it all proceeds forth from one logical spot, and that's why history has always interested me, because it's like, knowing that, knowing that things just go back from the, like everything that happens is going to produce a predictable result that will be totally logical when looked at after the fact. Um, Knowing that does kind of make things easier to process, and it makes me want to know, well, what has happened in the past, because it makes it easier to predict the future. It's like, if you want to learn about the future, you have to learn about the past. You just have to figure out what we've done previously in other situations, because that's universally just the way we think about it. But yeah, definitely very weird. Fun stuff. Mm. Well, anyway, what does the rest of the chat think? What do you people out there think? Entertain me, you bastards. I'm gonna finish filling up this thing. That'll be good. Oh, oh, dude, retard moment. I was totally just rotating the wrong piece. Oh, I am a shotgun rider for the San Jacinto line. The desert is my brother, my skin is cracked and dry. I was riding on a full coach, and everything was fine, till we took a shorter road to save some time. The bandits only fired once, they shot me in the chest. They may have wounded me, but they'll never get the best of better men. And I'll ride again. I am a river gambler, make a living dealing cards. My clothes are smooth and honest, my heart is cold and dark. I was dealing for some Delta boys on a boat to New Orleans. I was the greatest shark they'd ever seen. And the captain hit a sandbar and an ace fell from my sleeve. They threw me overboard as I swore I didn't cheat, but I could swim, and I'll ride again. We are heroes of the homeland, American remains. We wear so many faces and answer many names. We will not be forgotten, we won't be left behind. Our memories live on in mortal minds and poets' pens. 9:23. I can't believe it's already 9:23, y'all. I'm about to have to go do all the feeding and watering, but that'll be fun. I can get to show you guys all the critters. We've actually gotten more critters since the last time I talked to you guys, I think. Well, we got another chicken. I don't know if that counts, but we're getting some what I've always called fancy chickens, which are kind of proof that humanity's tendency towards animal husbandry and breeding really does extend towards every member of the species. Um, or not every member of the species. I'm sorry, but every member of the animal kingdom, every member of the family, really, every animal that we have near to us, we try to make into these crazy things. So like there are silky chickens, which are they have all these like ruffled feathers. They look very cool. And there are like cochins. Is that the word for a feather-legged chicken? These like feather-legged breeds of chicken that have feathers on their legs, like you would imagine from the name. Um, we finally got a fancy chicken. So there's a fancy chicken in a specific cage right now. I almost feel like I should gather up, like I should find the other Banny and put him in with the other chicken. But I also don't know if that Banny is still around because I don't remember seeing him last couple times I went out there. That means there's a good chance that little Banny got snapped up by a hawk or something, because that will happen if you let your chickens, roam out in a big yard all day. And that is the most ethical way to keep chickens, just give them a lot of space to not, they don't need like the world's biggest fucking pasture, but they need a little bit of pasture to roam around in, find bugs in, find little bits of grass and shit in. And they have that right now, although there is going to be a repair process this year that's going to involve stretching a bunch of 12-foot mesh between one end to the other, basically to exclude the chickens, just one patch of the yard, and then breaking up a bunch of the dirt and moving a bunch of trash and shit out of that side of the yard, re-sowing it with grass. It's going to be a whole fucking task. It's going to be a whole set of tasks. Oh, I should probably just do that next time I have some money. I should just buy some mesh and maybe try and give at least half that yard a little bit of a break. That would be nice. That would be very, very nice. words and shit, dude. Why is nobody in chat talking? Nobody in chat has a fucking thing to say. People are just scrolling by and they're seeing the stream. They're sticking around for a minute, but all they're doing is like, huh, all right. It's like, you know, say something. Even if it's stupid. At least then I can laugh on it and riff for a while. Hell, I can usually spin gold out of any old hey you leave for me, so why not, you know? Oh. So much to do. There always is, though. There always is so much to do. Living like this. There's always something. Always something you can figure out to do. But I had to take a rest day yesterday because the day before yesterday, I was like super crazy busy the whole fucking day. And I think it's part of why my back is so fucked up today. But, oh, as usual, it's back to the grindstone for the work day, you know? Now, once again, a fly is trying to take you guys over, trying to just fucking ruin your whole day by excluding my beautiful face, rather, from the fucking stream. These flies are pestilential, but I don't have any way to kill them. I don't have any way to kill them readily, so I have a fly trap over there, but I need to replace it. It needs more tape. So I've got a bowl loaded up here with some keef, which is cool and fun, beautiful. Oh, it's a wonderful day in the neighborhood, a wonderful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It really is a beautiful day. I feel like it rained overnight, but now it's nice again. Although it does kind of look like it could rain again if it really wanted to. What a day. What a day. I don't feel as energetic as I normally do in the mornings. Normally the mornings are pretty much when I start to feel kind of like energetic and like I'm ready for anything. But today I more or less just feel like bleh, not ready for anything at all. But I don't know, maybe that'll be conducive to something. I don't know. I've got a longer shift at my job than I normally have for fall because for the last like month or so they've had me on 3-hour shifts, but like I don't know. Today and most of this week, I work like 5.5 hours each day, at least, which is, it's nice for my income because I have a kid on the way and I've got a lot of other shit I need to worry about. So it is nice from that respect to have much more money to work with. And also, because it hurts. And I would rather honestly be doing work around the farm than be doing work there. But I don't know. I've got plans, dude. I've been baking bread lately, and Mississippi's cottage law allows you to sell bread. And so I'm thinking I'm just going to start selling a bunch of bread, dude. I can't ship it, so don't be asking if you can buy it on here, because I literally can't sell it to you online. I could endanger the whole family farm by selling it online. But I would probably give loaves away to people like I know in here. So if you're like a cool person in chat and I get to know you, there's a good chance you could get sent some bread if you wanted some. But as of right now, I can't sell any of it online. But I can sell it in person. I can sell it to people on the farm that come to the farm to visit or whatever. And I've been making some mean ass breads, dude. I'm really fucking confident in my abilities now because I've done it 3 times now, and every fucking time it turned out exactly the way I wanted it to turn out. So, well, no, that's not true. One time the second time I tried it, I didn't let it rise as much as so it's weird. Like I didn't rise as much as I wanted it to. But that's just because I was kind of like hoping against hope because of the time crunch I was on. But if I had let it like rest properly and punched it down and let it rest and punched it down, all that shit, if I'd let it rise properly, it would have turned out perfect. So I'm gonna keep doing it for a couple weeks and giving people samples and letting people try it out. And then if people still like it, dude, I'm gonna start selling bread. Do you live alone? How old are you? I'm that's some personal. No, I don't live alone. I live with my partner and my parents as well. We live on a uh, what right now is just kind of like a farm under rebuilding, but we're trying to eventually like basically have our grocery bill paid for out of the land that we live on. Um, and that's always a communal effort. So as of right now, me and my partner live with them, and we're probably going to end up getting another trailer and putting it on this land somewhere, and we'll be living in that. It'd be a lot cheaper than building a house in this area for sure, and be a lot faster too. So, and I just like I like trailers honestly. I grew up in them, and so I just like them. Um, Call me low class if you want, but that's how I live right now. And as far as how old I am, I'm 26 years old. I turned 26 in August, which is I'm a Virgo, if you're curious. But yeah, I turned 26 in August. Very strange. I don't feel 26. I feel, ironically, at this point in my life, I feel younger most days than I have for the rest of my life. But today I don't feel very young because my back is killing me, literally, like in so much pain. I know. I just stream alone because like um I honestly do want to start doing the stream with others or go live with others thing, but I have to find some good people to do that. I have to find somebody that'd be willing to come on and maybe or maybe have me on a vertical stream or something. I don't know. I do have one person I kind of want to ask to do it, but I don't want him to feel like I just want to clout chase because honestly, I have far more time conversing with this person than I do. Like I have far more fun time conversing with this person than I do doing these streams, and so like I don't want him to think like the priorities are not what they actually are. Um, but I have one person I think it would be so fun to do this with, and it would definitely, I think, grow the channel. But I ain't gonna ask because that would just be nah, nah. If they offer, that's one thing, but I ain't gonna ask. Do you guys grow your own weed? Oh, dude, I wish. No, I live in a state that does allow medical and shit, so I'm you know what I mean like it's good there, and we've got huge fucking Delta 8, which is basically what I'm smoking right now. I mean, the keef is mixed over like a year's worth of keef collection or whatever, but um, as far as the actual flower in here, it's just the leftovers of Delta 8 joints. Although I do have some real dabs sitting near me. But anyway, I live in a state where we've got plenty of Delta 8, we've got medical, so, but we don't have personal cultivation. So we can't you can't legally grow weed even if you do have a medical card. You can't do it. You can't legally grow weed here. So, I mean, I think you can only under very specific circumstances, like for research purposes and shit. Because I know Mississippi State University does have a pretty huge cannabis program. I think it's either Ole Miss or Mississippi State, and I don't remember which one. But they have a pretty big like cannabis medicine program and cannabis research facility, and I'm sure they're allowed to grow weed, but personal cultivation isn't allowed here yet. So one of the reasons I kind of want to move to Missouri is because like I grew up there a lot too. Like I grew up between here and there, and um, I don't know, dude. With Missouri going full legal, and with them going so hard towards like the higher freedom model of weed legalization, dude, I really want to. I kind of want to go back there because it's like number one, Missouri's got good roads, right? It's always got they always run a tight ship in terms of the budget. You know what I mean? We aren't sucking off the federal government in the way that Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Arkansas, etc. all are universally doing. So Missouri's got that going for it. It's got the fact that it's cities. People will talk shit about St. Louis and Kansas City all day long, but if you actually go there, they're like reasonably safe places. I don't know. I've never been mugged in either of those cities. The only place I was ever robbed in my entire life was Cape Girardeau, Missouri, which a little talk about like it's some idyllic little small town with nothing bad going on and never. Um, but on top of all that, on top of it just being a nice functional state, it's fucking like they have very permissive weed laws there. You can grow your own weed. You don't have to have a permit for it or anything, as far as I remember. I don't think you do. I think you're allowed like a certain number of plants without any sort of permitting. And they have this thing called micro business licenses. So I think this is so cool, right? So if you, it's kind of a way to like help like drug dealers basically go legit. And at least it's from my reading of the amendment, that's what it seems like. From my reading of the text of the law, what it seems like is basically a way for people in super troughed off residential communities to open up a weed business, and for people who are currently kind of like drug dealing with weed to go legit, because there are these like micro business licenses that are they're only doled out like a certain number of them every year or something, or a certain number of them for every region. I don't remember which one, but they're meant to be in places where other cannabis dispensaries couldn't be zoned. They still have to be a certain distance away from the church and shit, but you're allowed to open up a weed business that's basically just out of your house, and you can either do like the micro business dispensary model or the micro business warehousing model. So you can either be like growing and warehousing, or you can be selling. I don't think they let you do both at the same location, but the idea is to provide kind of an alternative to the current system that's so common amongst the you know amongst like commercial weed production. Right now it's a very commercialized enterprise. Missouri's trying to kind of change that by offering these like micro business licenses, which is going to make it so that if you're in a place like what's basically going to happen in Missouri is that there's going to be neighborhood uh, weed shops where it might even be your plug's fucking house. Like your plug goes legit, and so instead of like having to call ahead or something, you just go over there during his business hours or during her business hours, and you knock on their door, and you just come in if they're if it's just like come on in or whatever, and you've got your neighborhood fucking dispensary right there. It's got regulated, maybe not regulated prices, but it's got more regulated prices because there's no competition from some weird illegal market, and through the fucking weird black market. Um, there's lab testing. There's all of the shit that comes with operating a dispensary or operating a warehousing location, and it's just happening on the like super local level. That I'm in so huge support of. I hope when the federal government actually recreationally legalizes, I hope they use a model like that. I hope they really look at Missouri as an example of what to do in terms of weed policy, because every other state in the union, in my opinion, has hypocritical weed policy. I'm just going to say it. As far as I know, Missouri is the only place in America with weed lounges. As far as I know, like, well, no, I think it's the only place in America that has weed lounges outside of very specific jurisdictions. I think there's some like weed lounges in Los Angeles. I think there's some in like Washington and Oregon maybe, but I can definitely say with confidence that it's the only state in the Midwest that has weed lounges. You can't smoke weed publicly anywhere in Colorado. You can't smoke weed publicly anywhere in New Mexico, as far as I know. You can't smoke weed publicly anywhere in Illinois. At least, technically, you're not supposed to, right? A lot of times they let you get away with it, but still, you're not supposed to. Hold on, I gotta respond to a text. Alrighty, I'm back. Anyway, so as far as I know, they're the only state that has that type of shit, and I think that that's something that should be emulated by other states. Because to me, the idea of a weed lounge is just so fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like, you've got a place where you can pick up some weed next door and then go over and you've got a place to smoke. It's like, imagine you can actually, um, like, imagine you're hiring for a dispensary in town. You can interview them at the weed lounge. So you've got a place to kind of like maybe test their weed knowledge, see if they're a good fit for the vibe. You can have all kinds of like it just becomes a lounge space, like a coffee shop or something. It's like Missouri is setting itself up to have the same sort of aesthetic in some cities as Amsterdam because there are weed lounges now in those places. And as far as I know, you can sell food and drink in those weed lounges. So what's going to end up happening is the Amsterdam coffee shop is going to start popping up in Missouri all over the place. And that's going to be so fucking cool, dude. And imagine if that was all over the United States. Dude, that's the thing that pisses me off more about the United States than anything else. I love this fucking country and I see its fucking potential. I see how cool we could be, not just with that stupid ass shit, but other shit, more important shit. We could have the best healthcare system in the fucking world. We've got the most variety of people here out of any other fucking country on the planet. You're telling me we cannot find the resources to have the best medical system in the world, and yet we're still paying out the ass for private healthcare? You know? Like, we could have a tourism industry that blows the fucking socks off any other state or any other country in the fucking planet. We could have the tourism industry in the world. We could be the place that an alien would come to experience what the world is like, what the earth is like. We could be that place. We could do it tomorrow. We were for a long time the place to go. Like, that's what gets me is like, for a long time there, it felt to me like looking back at American history, it seems like there was this period in American history where America was the fucking place to go, dude. We got the Grand Canyon, we've got Yellowstone, we've got all of our national park systems. We've got this beautiful fucking system of publicly funded parks. We've got the Empire State Building. We've got Willis Tower. We've got the St. Louis Arch. We've got the like all the weird fucking roadside attractions. We've got it all, dude. We've got the Painted Desert. We've got the Rocky Mountains. We've got the Appalachian Mountains. We've got the, the Smokies, and we've got the Brooks Range in Alaska. We've got some of them. We've got the most beautiful tundra you've ever seen in your life, and we've got the most beautiful fucking rolling fields you've ever seen in your life. We've got mountains interspersed with it all. We've got coasts. We've got everything. We've got literally everything you would want to attract people to your fucking country. And we could be doing even more of it. We just need to change a few fundamental things about this country, and we could start that going. We could get people over here doing fun shit. We could also get people in our own country going to other places in our country to do fun shit. It's just like you got to free up some money and some time in people's lives. And if we don't free up that money and time, then this fucking endless stream of money to the billionaire class is going to stop because people are just going to start living like they're in the Depression again, dude. People are going to start living like me en masse, is what I'm trying to tell you. People are going to start finding other, more local ways to get their food, and they are going to fucking cut the billionaire class out completely. And what the fuck are you going to do then, rich people? Like, legit, what do you do when people decide, fuck it, I have to work 3 jobs? I can't afford to do any of this shit anyway. I'm just gonna fucking start pouring as much of my fucking money and energy as I can into growing my own shit at home, setting myself up to where I can turn my electricity bill into a grocery bill and turn my water bill into a grocery bill, etc. And I can just consolidate this shit. They're gonna start there to keep working, but you're gonna be paying people who are never contributing back into that economy because they can't afford to anymore. So, but another part of me thinks that the owner class is literally just trying to kill us off at this point. Legit, part of me thinks that the owner class has this idea in their head, like, we've got robots at this point. We don't need these people. We are steady getting to a point where we can cut the fat. We can reduce the population by about 20%. We can get rid of all of these fucking entry wage people. We can get rid of all of these entry level low wage people and turn them into robots. And what positions are left that still need people? Well, there'll be a whole lot less people, and maybe we can rain down some fucking money on them somehow. But like, I legit think that there might be this idea in the minds of the owner class to just like refine the population down to just people that know them and people that know people that know them and people that like it's going to become like a nepotistic society if I'm right. If I'm right, then what's happening is the effectively the rich deciding that they're just going to cull all the descendants of families that they never had any great affection for or that made them their money. So you're just going to see working class people dying in mass. I don't know, like part of me thinks that might be what's going on because I keep thinking of that Mikhail Gorbachev quote, we can't keep on going like this. We can't keep on living like this. People can't keep on living like this. Like me thinking about tourism and why people don't do it in America got me thinking, like, the reason we don't do it in America is because we don't have fucking time. We don't have time. We don't have the money. Like, me as a hard ass worker that I do my job faithfully. I never call out unless like I'm fucking in the hospital. You know what I mean? As that kind of person, I don't have enough money to buy myself a car, which would be the fucking first step to being able to do any touristy type shit in this fucking country. I can't even afford it yet. I'm gonna have to save for like 3 months before I have enough for a down payment on a car. And when I get it, I'm still not gonna have time to take my family on vacation for at least a little while. Because even though I've been at my job a year, I'm gonna have to fight with them over actually getting my PTO time that I'm owed. And it's a never-ending fucking cavalcade against the working class, and it's every business, it's every fucking outlet of power. It's all allied against us at this point. It's made it to where there's no money to afford to do these crazy things, and even if there is money to do them, there's usually not time to do them because taking that time means you don't get the money. And unfortunately for the upper class, as they use race to further divide us, like as they keep using both race and racism, you know what I mean, as like a tool of division, it's going to become harder for foreign tourists to convince themselves to come to America. Like, why would you come to America if you're a brown person and every fucking redneck in America has some weird shit to say about brown people? And I know it's not lit on, but when there's this like predominantly bigoted attitude towards the race that you belong to, why would you come to a place that produces that and that signals it so loudly? Why would you ever go there? And when people from other places start making the same calculation, then the fucking flow of money is going to stop pretty quickly. And then we're going to be in the midst of another big economic crash where no one's coming over here to spend any money, and no one here is spending any money because we're all living like fucking peasants from the medieval age. And they're all going to be fucking screaming at us to buy something, get something. Our fucking stock is crashing. I was worth $4 billion yesterday. Now I'm worth fucking 300 million. That shit's going to be happening, and they're going to be blaming us. Like oh my God, dude, I'm about to go off on a rant of the entitlement of the bourgeoisie. That is really their most abhorrent quality. I do not think that there would be as many fucking revolutions if the bourgeoisie were not so goddamn entitled. If it was not just so fucking simple for people that were raised in that sort of opulent wealth to look at people like me as servants and slaves. They literally look at people like me like we owe them something just because we fucking exist on this planet. And they exist on this planet at the same time. It's royalist fucking thinking. And as a person whose family fucking descends from fucking rebels, I don't like that shit. I don't like royalists. I've never. I literally, I do think it's something in my blood, dude. I don't like a royalist. I don't like no fucking royalist. I don't like no fucking authority like that. I'll take a fucking president, thank you. Um, and that sort of attitude is just descended through the lines. All the people who were powerful during feudalism went on to have kids, and their kids had kids, and their fucking awful ass kids had even worse kids. We got the robber barons, they never stopped having kids. You realize, here's something that'll blow your fucking mind. Here's something that'll blow your fucking socks right off your feet and right out of your shoes. Go look up the powerful families of the United States and see how many of them remain in powerful positions. Go look up some of the CEOs of America's big businesses and look at the family that they belong to. You will see families that have been powerful since the dawn of modern society. You will see families that have been powerful since before the slaves were freed. You'll see plantation families. How about that? You'll literally see the way that power has been passed down generation to generation in this country, just the same way as it was for in Britain for all those many years. It's happened here at the same fucking time, literally generation to generation. This king, this fucking immigrant that into a steel magnate, and then his son became an electronics magnate, and now his son is an appliance magnate. And it's like this line of tyranny just through the ages, united by genetics. It's fucking insane to think about, like legitimately. If you ever look that up, it is some of the fucking craziest shit you'll ever see. And it'll really put you up on game about how little choice we actually have in politics. When people say, does your vote matter? That's why I say no, because there's like if you really look at it, there's like 4 to 10 families that really have meaningful power in America. Every single person else that's not in those that's not in those like 10. I say 4 to 10 because it depends on how you want to count it, what you want to count as real power, and from where you want to say that derives. Honeybee, I'm not a flower, and there ain't no flowers in here. And I don't want to kill you because you'll tell all your friends while you're dying. Plus, you're a honeybee. You do good things. You make us honey even if we can't harvest it right now. So, you just stay on over there and I'll leave you alone. My buddy. My partner just walked in here, y'all. They're the cutest, most adorable person I ever loved. Why are you being mean? I'm tired of all my kids. They're pregnant with my baby. Sup, Phoebes? Oh, dude, Jareth. Fuck, dude. Jareth. Oh my god. What a cool dude. I love Jareth. Standard moderator for Jareth. You know the drill. This chat works the exact same way that Paul stream works, because he's the one who's motivated me to start doing these streams. So if you see any retarded fucking parasocial bullshit, feel free to delete that. But don't feel like you have to. I'm not putting you on fucking guard duty. I'm just saying, like, this is also so that I see your comments, so that I recognize when you're in here, and so that I don't miss your comments as easily. And it's thanks for always being such a fucking additive to the chat instead of a detractor.
We got some of the fucking coolest dogs. We got wiener dogs.
Oh, dude, that's an ancient wiener dog, dude. That wiener dog is older than.
Yeah.
That wiener dog is older than Trump's first presidency.
Yeah, she's freaking.
She's easily 12 years old.
Yeah, I mean, anywhere between 12 and 14. Then we
Got you.
Then we got two. She's a normal sized wiener dog. Then we got two mini wiener dogs who are 2 years old. One of them being a runt.
I'm about to start the feeding. Do you want to come with me as we talk?
Yeah, I'm doing the baby quails. So.
Oh, okay. All right on. But yeah, we've got wiener dogs. We've got wiener dogs on wiener dogs.
Why don't we get that fucking cow? I want that cow already.
We are getting a calf, yeah. I don't know when we're getting a calf. Huh?
I want to get that cow because I want to use my animal fucking.
You want to use your animal taming skills on something bigger? Well, I will tell you, cows are famously tameable animals. Cows, as long as you handle them, cows will be friendly as fuck.
I mean, as far as I can tell, we need to tame her and get her really used to us. Because as far as I can tell, she's not the way that your dad's been talking about it.
Yeah.
It's about her. You know, she's not very used to people, and I want to get her used to people.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be pretty easy to get her used to people.
They got buried in the food.
Oh, dude, I probably put a bag in there and wasn't thinking. So I'm gonna give the chicken scratch grain. And what that means for you guys is that you guys get to watch me give the chicken scratch grain. And hopefully I can find a good camera angle where the camera's passing nicely through the chain link, and y'all will get a nice shot in chicken cam. So yeah, Jareth, what's up, dude? How have you been? Oh, Jesus Christ. I've walked through a spider web. It's on me. Oh yeah. There we go. I flung it off. There we go. But yeah, how have you been, bro? Because you're always cool to see in chat. I have to work today, but I wanted to stream for you guys. Me doing all the farm work that I do in the mornings. It's not much, but it's honest work, as they say. And now I'm just gonna set up the camera to where you guys can see it. Let's see here. There we go. I'll try to keep some of them right up there close for you guys so you guys can get a really good shot of them. But this is what my mornings are like, y'all. I'm pretty happy about them. Dude, I think I see a fucking duck nest. Or I see where one might be. Because I just saw one of these little ruin hens coming up from an area right over there. So I might take you guys over there in a minute and see if we can't find us some duck eggs. Heard duck eggs are great for baking, so I'll have to try them as an egg glaze, see what they do, and then try them as an ingredient in a cake and see what they do. Dude, I've gotten into baking lately, and let me tell you, I'm a bread master, dude. I've got a gift for it. I'm not trying to like brag on myself overly, but I legit think I might have like a gift for it. And when I say a gift for it, I really just mean like I've got a super good passion for it. Like I love doing it, and the results have been exactly what I wanted them to be each time, except for one time when I knew pretty much what was going to happen, and it still turned out tasting great. It was just way too dense. It was not fluffy and airy like you expect out of a yeasted bread. But last time I made it, I made 2 French loaves, one of which I froze for later consumption, one of which we have been eating on over the last 2 or 3 days, and my parents both fucking love it. So I'm gonna start selling me some breads, dude. Probably gonna move into cakes too, because as I was telling people earlier, Mississippi's cottage law allows you to make breads, cakes, anything like that, anything that stores well at room temperature, like a bread or a cake. Um, and so I can make up, like the farm can make up to $35,000, I think, before we have to register with the state or anything. And I could see myself selling easily 10 grand worth of bread in a year if I really applied myself. So I have to get me a stand mixer. So yeah, if some crazy billionaire is listening to this and wants to help make someone's dreams come true, send me fucking $400 on Cash App so I can get me a fucking stand mixer. Just chilling in Cedar Rapids. 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 That's what would have happened if Hillary would have been actually real, by the way, on that meme. Give me some more of that bread. Dude. Babe, will you do me a favor? Would you go grab the bread off the table so I can show the people? Oh, of course. Of course I'm going to show them the Silky. I got to show them the Silky. Dude, you guys also have to see the cutest shit ever. Look at that cat. Look at that beautiful cat. Oh my God. We really have like the most beautiful garden too in the whole wide world. I love it, dude. I love it. The guinea pig cage he's sitting next to, yeah.
Yep, me and my little animals. 3 of my boys right here.
So this is the last of one of the loaves that I made. So you can see the ear on there and see the nice fluffy texture. You can see it had more of a sheen and a shine when it was fresh, and it was nice and crispy. It was nice and fucking crispy when I first took it out of the oven. You see the backside is perfect, exactly what you want out of a nice homemade bread. You can see the dough pinch there. I just love it, dude. That is fucking beautiful. Thank you, dude. I don't know if you're talking about the garden or the bread, but either way, I like to think this bread looks like the bread in Skyrim. But yeah, I looked up a French bread recipe. I looked at it and I was like, that sounds fucking delicious. Probably will be. And I made it. And it turned out great. So now that we've done that, our next step is going to be feeding the quails. Unless Silas already did that, and I don't think they have. So, breaking news, Helene has strengthened into a hurricane and is expected to intensify rapidly before striking Florida. So that's cool. Florida's gonna die. Florida's gonna get hit in the sky. So now, oh geez.
Our cat fucking thinks he's fucking sneaky.
Why? What is he doing?
I put him on my shoulder thinking he wanted to show off my shoulder. This bitch jumps off my shoulder and runs in the house.
Aww.
Fucking thinks he's sneaky.
He thinks he's so sneaky.
Oh my God. Only because. Oh, look at that. Bird rate. Listen. These guys are pretty, but I got some new favorites now with these guys.
Yeah.
Like, these. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, damn. Alright, y'all want to see a neck issue with birds?
Does one of them have wry neck or something?
Yep. There's nothing wrong with it. It's completely stable. Is it?
That one looks like it's been getting picked at too a little bit.
Yeah. So is the camera this way or is it still from this?
It's facing this way.
Alright,
It's good.
so this bird has basically a crooked neck and it's been getting picked at. It's fine. The bird's fine. It's just
For now, yeah.
it just
Basically,
has
it
a neck
needs
issue.
thinned out. Basically, that pen, that
Yeah.
cell that he came from, needs thinned out. But that's one of the things. Especially if you get out of your appointment fairly early, you should ask Dad if you and him can come out here and sex these males.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as soon as you get the males and everything sexed, we can get more of them into these other racks. Because that's really the main problem.
It's gonna be hard when we only have like one, because we're about to have a whole nother rat.
I know.
It's gonna get hard to sex them soon.
I know, but I think this is the last hatch we're doing of quail because the idea is to get the whole rack full. So, but let me get another thing of feed.
But yeah, the wry neck problem, that probably can't be fixed. If it's not fixed from like after they're like, you know, because it happens when during like the hatching process and sometimes fucking, you know, just the way they are in the incubator and sometimes because of the how the heat is in the incubator. But the skin issue where you saw where he barely had any feathers, that can be fixed. Neck issue can't. But the
So I
neck
like-
issue isn't hurting him.
I like to sprinkle on a little bit of scratch feed on the top of their thing, just to kind of give them a little bit of a treat, increase the scope of their nutritional profile. Thank you, baby.
Wow, these feel different than normal.
Ooh, they do feel different, slightly.
They feel a little
Maybe
more
because
rough.
maybe because they're so new to laying.
But yeah, because we didn't get these top racks from us. I mean, we got some of them.
Yeah, the top rack was our initial quail.
See, this one, that one's my favorite. This gold one right here.
Oh, I really do like that one. Yeah.
There's some of these ones that are like gold and white, and they're like my favorite. And no, I don't usually get in camera. You won't see me too much in here.
Eventually, my idea is to get these quail in an aviary. I think that would be the coolest thing, is to have all these cute little flyers in an aviary.
Honestly, we could somehow make
You in
that
the-
in the long.
You in the South? Yes, Jareth, I am. I'm in Mississippi, actually. Yep, in good old Mississippi. And he said, I hope that hurricane isn't shit if you guys are in its way. Yeah, dude, we're not directly in its path, but we are actually adjacent to... We are adjacent to its updated path. So right now the path is saying that it's going to be coming up through Florida, through Georgia, and then turning west into Tennessee, and like northern Alabama, and we are in northern Mississippi. So there's a good chance that we get hit at least a little bit by that, at least by the after effects of the storm. I don't know if we'll be hit by the whole thing, but we're at least going to be hit by the after effects of the storm. And by the extended winds and things like that going on. So here is our silky baby, the silkiest of silky babies, and her food looks like it's okay. It looks like it survived the night okay. I'll flip this open and look, but it looks like it's all right.
like I said, I tried to get all the wet shit out yesterday.
Okie dokie, yeah.
And she's very human friendly. She doesn't run like other.
One of our only pettable chickens.
Let's get you out of that cage so that your foot isn't hurting.
Why is her foot hurting so
I don't
bad?
know. She started limping yesterday. Your mom said she was going to have a look at her.
That's really weird.
I don't think this is a good cage for her either.
Well, see, like normally chickens would be fine in a wire cage like this, but
Damn.
What?
Fuckers.
Ants are gonna get in there. There's just, I mean, we just have ants. Like, that's the thing. That's why we need to get so much of this farm cleaned up, because then we can go through with some orthene, you know what I mean? And go through some orthene. We can kill all these fucking fire ants. And, you know, like, I don't want to kill every fucking ant in the world, but I do want to extirpate them from my local area, literally. I'm going to kill every fucking ant nest I can find. But yeah, you can see.
She looks like a crow to me.
She does kind of look like a crow.
She's like a fluffy crow. If you really look at her face, she looks like a fluffy crow.
I love birds too, dude. Jareth, you are a wise man.
Oh yeah, she's my best friend now. She literally did. Her mom came home with her, and I literally was like, "Okay, this is mine now." Hey, my chicken.
Yeah.
I have a pet chicken now.
The Silky is great, but yes. Yeah, I was telling them about that earlier. I was telling them about that earlier.
We're getting a couple Bantams so that we can raise those kind of chickens.
Here's one of our breeder rabbits.
Which probably will die when we get our female rabbit.
Right. So I'm just going to try and get this wet feed out of here. Nope, you go on. And try and distribute some of the dry feed back down, because I don't want their food getting molded or anything.
See, it was when it rains, we kind of just have to let the food get wet for a little bit before we change it. You know.
I mean, you have to let it dry out a little bit before you do anything with it, or you're just going to get fucking filthy.
Yeah.
But this rabbit does not eat very much, so I'm not going to bother filling up that whole feeder just for it to get rained on again.
See,
So,
lion head on the other hand, and this little lion head, he fucking eats and drinks like a puberty, like he's going through fucking puberty.
Yeah, this little lion head, I think because he's so much younger, he has a way higher metabolism. What do we want to name him? Because evidently nobody in the family has ordered us to murder him yet for rabbit meat. So,
And I mean, I know we're probably gonna.
yeah, I mean, if anybody's going out of the two of these dudes, if either of them is dying to the fucking butcher's block,
It's gonna be the gray one because he's older.
it's going to be him.
Because this one, I think, is not even a year old yet.
Yeah, this one would still be a good breeder. So what should we call him? Einstein? Snow? That's too basic.
I am basic.
No, you're not, though. You are not basic. But that is a basic ass name. What about Elsa?
That's what I say. Oh, God. I'm getting fucking sick. I think somehow those stabs last night initiated, like I think they fucking
Jump started a fucking lung illness.
that, or they fucking
Name him Blizzard? Okay. Jareth suggested Blizzard. I like that.
name.
Huh?
I like that name.
Me too. Okay, Jareth, you're right. Blizzard it is.
Listen, I'm gonna say something. As a person who's came from Massachusetts, you know, so from a person who's came from like a small town going to like a farm. All right, listen, I can kill chicken. I'll eat it. I honestly can kill a pig. Eat it. The rabbits, let's just say the female got butchered because we thought this one was a female, and let's just say it made my heart broke.
Yeah. Rabbits are the harder of the stock animals to, you know, turn into meat for sure.
That's also because rabbits are more, you can see that in like centuries of years, rabbits are more like dogs, where they're more like pets.
Yeah, I mean, rabbits have been kept as pets by human beings for a really long time. Not as long as dogs, but a pretty long time nonetheless.
Like, see, he doesn't like to be held, but he's very.
He likes to be pet, though. He loves to be pet.
He hates to be held. Oh my god, he's when her dad was trying to freaking sex him the other day, he was like, "Fuck you, bitch!" And
Yeah, he almost
him.
broke his own spine trying to like get away. So that was horrible. I heard something pop, so I know he's probably in pain somewhere, or maybe he just got a really nice calisthenics workout or something. I don't know, but I know it did not look or sound like it probably felt good. But yeah,
he's not just a lion head. He's not like a purebred lion head, but that's what he is.
He's what they call like a lab bunny.
Yeah, he's a mix.
He's a lab rabbit, basically. Albino, as evidenced by the red eyes.
And,
the white
fur.
The fur. He could just be a white rabbit, but
usually albinoism. Freaking sorry, I'm pregnant, and which is making my word fucking I can't word. I'm sorry, I just woke up. Give me a minute.
But yeah, albinism can be guaranteed. Like the difference between a white rabbit and an albino rabbit is their red eyes. One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small, and the one that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Just ask Alice. I mean, what? It is a white rabbit. Yeah, now we're moving to the chickens. And the pigs. The swan. The swan, mate. The swan. Feeding time. Come and get your food so we can get our shit out of the way. Alrighty. I guess, as usual, I'll set this camera up over here. Set this phone up over here, and I will,
Hi, guys. Oh, God, I can't wait for our goat that we're getting. Our pregnant goat.
Yeah. Me too, dude. I'm really looking forward to having a ready supply of goat meat.
I'm really interested in freaking making some goat milk and shit. What was it that we couldn't make? Butter?
Oh, dude, we can make butter. We can make. I mean, you can.
There was a couple things I know that we couldn't make.
Couldn't?
I think it was cream. I think we couldn't make cream or something.
I mean, you can make those things out of any goat's milk. It's just, will it be as good for that purpose as a purpose-made milking goat? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, if we don't get enough cream out of a given goat, then yeah, we probably can't use that goat to make cheese or whatever. But there are plenty of goats out there that we could get and mix with our goats.
Because I know that see, I remember me and your dad talking that the milk consistency between a cow and a goat are very different.
Yeah. Do you want me to grab that water? Are you sure? I know, it's just heavy. I guess it's not that heavy. You don't have it that full.
Yeah, I only do it halfway.
That makes sense. So, I'm not going to give this the full 100% cleanup treatment right this second. Number one, my thing is, it's up in the other part of the fucking farm, so it's up by the house, and I've got very limited time before I have to go to work. Kind of let the time get away from me, but I am going to clean it out of all this duck mud. take several tries. And on this particular day, one of these just broke, dude. I want to make sure that the doors are closed in the barn while they're working with pigs. Oh, they must really be getting familiar with you then.
Yeah. They're doing it with my boots, and now that I don't got my boots on, they're just like, let's do it.
I guess they must have ate Taco Bell leftovers. I'm going to pull this door to while you're working with pigs.
Alright, coming in. Come on, you gotta.
I'm just gonna give it a little like hand, a little love by hand, you know. So yeah, that's before anyone asks. I always wash my hands before I go into work when I get there. So. Here's I'm gonna get it from there to here now. Okay. Now, with the fill. I'm using a lot still. So there we go. Yeah, now we just fill, and that can sometimes take a while, but already about halfway. Once this is filled, I just slap the bottom back on it, flip it over, put it on the chain, and we're good to go. Has anybody else said?
Not really. I mean, I don't know if you read that one comment, but Jared was just talking about closing time.
Oh, yeah, dude. I forgot. Yeah, I was just singing closing time a minute ago. Closing time. Turn all of the lights on over every boy and every girl.
Can I show them where the cow and stuff is gonna go eventually?
Yeah.
So, the cow is gonna go in this. So that works out perfect because, you know, which is another word for female if y'all didn't know that. This is where the goats are going. We just need to fix the roof because you can probably tell that it's yeah, let's just say that this barn's very old. Very old. So, you know, storms in the south, everything weak, and, you know, all that lovely stuff. I don't know how she had this. I'm just gonna put
Basically, the continuous wind blew off a lot of the tin of this barn, and it's had to be replaced over the years. And that side hasn't been replaced yet, but it's due for replacement. We're getting goats.
And we're probably getting at least 3 because the mother goat is pregnant. One thing I didn't know is they usually have 2 at least.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, but apparently goats usually have at least twins, which is kind of cool. I guess that's pretty good in terms of survival strategy. Do you want me to carry one of these?
So Phoebe's been making fun of me because she thinks that I'm not going to be. She's been making fun of me because she's been telling me that I'm going to end up having like my own like.
Oh
zoo,
yeah,
basically.
dude. I keep telling them that if they had their druthers, they'd move to upstate New York and buy some kind of equine ranch there and have literally every animal, at least one of every single animal. They would have a zebra, a giraffe, fucking.
I would have a lot of macaws, honestly.
Yeah, they would have definitely a blue and gold macaw. Dude, they met somebody with a blue and gold macaw the other day and haven't stopped talking about it since.
Listen, the only reason why I'm so excited about it was because macaws are my favorite bird, especially because I've learned a lot about the Amazon. Macaws are one of my fucking favorite birds.
Oh, dude, I love macaws too. And that macaw was so fucking friendly.
But
It was so nice.
I probably get some macaws, a couple toucans.
And as usual, I'll give you guys an update on the compost pit. You can see we've got nice worm activity down there. Nice worm activity over here.
Don't mind the baby quail. We found some dead in our cage this morning.
Yeah, and you have to remove the dead ones. So there's a couple of baby quail that'll be making up
And
more organic matter too.
And usually that's not our fault. Usually it's just sometimes, you know, they were either too long in the actual incubator, or you know, it's too hard to tell when they're tiny like that. Sometimes just, you know, they don't get enough water or food or something, or they trample over each other because there's just so many of them.
Right. But yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go and finish getting ready for work. It's been fun. Y'all have a great night.